Hello and welcome back to the weekly Oracle card reading with Kylie Savage, Psychic Medium. And this reading goes from the 7th of September to the 13th of September 2019. Okay, I'm actually doing this reading today on Monday on the 9th of the 9th, 19. All those nines in there. Yeah, as you said, it goes from the 7th to the 13th September. Okay, we have a full moon in Pisces coming up for us. For the Northerners, yes, it will be on Friday the 13th. So a full moon and Friday the 13th. Have lots of fun with that. Personally, I think Friday the 13th is a very lucky day, and I think it's quite auspicious, and I don't think it's bad luck at all. And for the Southerners, our full moon in Pisces will be on the 14th, so on the Saturday. And I'm mentioning the full moon because if you do your full moon ceremonies, it'd be really great to do one with what's come up this week. And I think it's going to really support you. So remember, check out Moonology, Yasmin Boland's website, and her book Moonology. And if you haven't already, go out and grab yourself the Moonology 2020 Lunar Diary because it's amazing. And I can't wait to start using mine. Yasmin's given us so much information. It's super, super easy and simple and straightforward to follow. Okay, what was I going to say? We have a new Oracle deck. So I have a new Oracle deck. It's called Nature's Whispers Oracle Cards. And it's by Angela Hartfield. And the illustrations are by Josephine Wall. I saw this deck on Amanda Copper's Facebook page, and if you don't know about Amanda, please go and give her page a like and a follow. It's called Cosmic Codes. Amanda is married to Max Copper, one of Australia's very famous numerologists, and he's also a palmist. And Max Copper is an amazing guy. He's been around forever, does fantastic work all over the world. And Amanda is simply lovely. She's a beautiful soul, and she does these fantastic crystal grids. So if you're into crystal grids or working with crystals, or if you want to follow Yasmin Boland, she's got started to get into creating crystal grids. But definitely check out Cosmic Codes, Amanda Copper, and see her. I think she does them for the full moon, her crystal grids. Judy Hall, I think, also has a book on crystal grids. There's quite a few good books actually out on it. It's very in at the moment. Okay, so yes, these cards, I saw them on Amanda's page and I just thought, oh my God, these are the most beautiful cards. So I'll do a little reveal video for you next, and I'll show you more of those. And I'm using my very trusted Wisdom of Avalon cards by Colette Baron-Reid. This was my very first deck, and I've been reading it for many, many years, and it's still my favourite. Okay, so we have the 4 readings in the flow system from Wisdom of Avalon, and our anchor card is the Serpent. So exciting. Always a great card to get. And our next card, which is our next right action, is the Death card. These are called journey markers, sacred journey markers, in the Wisdom of Avalon deck. And we have 2 of those, so I'll talk a little bit about it. And our possible future outcome, the 3rd position is the Cow. Always a very good card to see. And we have a 2nd journey marker, which is called Restriction. Okay, and I asked for a guide to step forward to assist and support us with anything that came up in this reading, and also to provide further clarity, assistance and support. So in the guide position from Nature's Whispers Oracle cards, we have Clear Out the Old. Oh, see, these cards are already working together beautifully. When you have a look at the artwork on these cards, it's so detailed. There's lots of symbolism. Be a really good deck for a beginner. Okay, now the Serpent. The Serpent tells me knowledge and healing, and what I'm feeling for myself too is that I've moved out of some old energy and an old space and situation that I was in. and I'm yet to go fully into whatever's next for me. And so as I do this, in the transition period, things are coming up to be healed in me. And so I'm taking that message on board. Okay, whenever we have some sort of significant change in our life, sometimes along the way, things have come up for us from this old situation. And in the transition time, that in-between time, that can be a fantastic time to rest, to come back to ourselves and say, okay, I've just been through, whatever it was. Sometimes, it may not have been the easiest transition out of the old situation. So we take this in-between time to look at what might be coming up for healing. What more could I release here? Did I see any old patterns or old behaviours or old thought forms that could be released and shed here now? Because while I'm in this in-between time, and kind of, do I need to, come back home to myself, lick my wounds kind of thing, not going out and socialising so much, just staying at home a little bit more and just taking some time out to heal. But also, like, before I fully embrace the new. And the healing is a very important part of this transition, because it's going to free you from whatever the dead weight was, whatever the old energy was that we need to shed, so that you can come out into this new situation in your beautiful new skin. Now, healing in the serpent, whenever you dream of snakes, always take note of it. Take note of the colour of the snake, the behaviour of the snake, because snakes are very often about healing. Take note of the environment that you see the snake in, and also your emotional response to the snake in the dream. I'll never forget a dream I had many, many years ago, and I saw the most beautiful, glistening, glowing green serpent and a big kind of jungle tank, like a big enclosure in the zoo, which was glass. So glass also has a significant meaning in a dream. And I always remember seeing that snake in the dream and understanding that I was going through a transition of deep healing. And once I'd come through it, I would be sort of born anew. So, and this is also not just a time of healing. In that in-between time from whatever we've come out of, this is what I'm in at the moment and I can relate to, is I am getting into the next deep dive of knowledge and learning, and I'm opening myself up to, okay, being curious about and responsive to, okay, what's next for me? What's new? What would I like to explore? What would I like to learn? So this morning, I've signed up for a podcasting course at our local library, which if you're interested in your local, please let me know. I'll share it with you, and I'll share it on my Facebook page. I'm going to go down and sign up for level 1 Reiki. I'm a spiritual healer, an energy worker. I have been for many years, and I've never actually studied healing, not in the sense of a modality such as Reiki. So I'm signing up for Reiki, and I'm starting to get excited. I've come through the old situation enough now. I'm not feeling as raw, as burnt. I'm starting to open up to what's next for me and getting excited about it. That is a great place to be, and give yourself whatever time you need to heal from whatever you've come through. There's a lot of turmoil in the world right now. So many of us are going through so much stuff, and things one on top of the other. Healing to me also, my partner is going in for surgery. So there will be a time, for us to be at home and for me to support him in his healing and giving him a lot of healing. And healing, whenever we have an illness or disease, we go on a journey of healing. And that journey can, look like a scribble or a spiral. It's different for all of us. The important thing is, to understand we're worth taking the time it takes to heal from whatever we need to heal from. And sometimes once we've had a big shift, we never have to go back and look at that lesson or repeat that experience or that lesson in this lifetime. We've had a big shift, we've evolved past it, and it belongs in the past. So feel confident about asking the angels to, dissolve all old cords and ties to any old energy that is no longer necessary or needed. Any old lessons and experiences that no longer hold any value, ask the angels to dissolve them from you. I know this sounds a bit extreme, but you think not all acid is like corrosive acid. You know, we have acids in fruits and, you know, acids in skincare. So what I asked the angels to do for me was give my aura a beautiful acid bath to completely dissolve any and old and unnecessary energy from my aura, from my energetic system. You know, sometimes you just get to that point, and you get to that point when you're ready for it. You can't force these things. When you're just ready to say, get rid of this stuff, I don't need it, release it. So, going back to the full moon. The full moon in Pisces will be a fantastic time to do a forgiveness list. Also, when you're writing your forgiveness list, which you'll go on and burn, making care, you know, fire safety first, because we're in having total fire ban days already. Think about anything you're ready to release and ask the full moon for her to take that from you. Surrender it to her. So write down anything and everything, you know, shake it off, that old energy, anything and everything that you no longer need, ask for it to be released under the light of the full moon. And then go out there and stand under the moon with your clothes on. If clothing's optional, that's a whole other video. I'm not going down that road with you guys. Stand under the full moon and ask for her blessing. And just, you know, breathe in that beautiful light. Take it in down through your crown chakra and move it through your body. Release anything that's no longer needed and necessary. Just let it back out or out through the soles of your feet and give it to the moon. This is so healing to have a moon bath. And just, you know, take those moments for you in your life to have a little bit of sacred union, you know, with the moon. You could do it with the sun if you're not a moon person, but, you know, just to really commune with nature, to understand that you come from nature, you are nature, and you're a part of the moon, the sun, the stars. You're a part of everything. Take a moment to breathe it in and receive some healing. It's a wonderful idea. Let me know how you go with that. Okay, the Death card. Never ever be scared of the Death card. Death card just means transition and transformation, yet there is a message in here which I got. Because we have the Cow in the 3rd position and restriction here in the 4th position. It's giving us more information on everything. And what I saw was, because I also read cards diagonally, what I saw was for us to move into this new phase of our lives, for the healing, taking on the new knowledge and everything, we need to really let go of the old. Like I've been talking about, doing the release. We need to also understand that some things, you know, that are not meant for us, they're really not meant for us, and Spirit's really encouraging us not to go back down that path. Sometimes when we rehash, you know, conversations, betrayals, hurts, we, you know, we ruminate on the resentment, and we get, you know, the ego feeds itself out of these things, going back into the past, going back over, you know, rerunning these situations. That needs to stop. Spirit is greatly encouraging us to let go of what's no longer needed and necessary, because it's really going to get in the way of the new. And that's just common sense. You don't have to be psychic to understand that. So the Death card means we're being herded. See, we've got restriction and we've got death, and it's like we're being herded. To connect with your abundance, to connect with all your good, to be nourished and fed by Spirit, be fed by life, we need to let go of these old things, this old us. That was an old version of us which is no longer needed. We need to dissolve all the cords and ties, and we need to embrace the new, get excited about the new. And the restriction is, if we try and sort of do what we've done in the past but do it in a different way, if we're kidding ourselves about this, we're going to find the doors shutting and we're not going to be able to get traction. The energy is just not going to be there for us to go back into, you know, and repeat a similar experience from the past. We're being herded and shown a different path. So if you feel like things aren't working out in life at the moment, if there isn't the energy for the things that you think you're wanting to do, or you feel you should do, or you think someone else thinks you should do it, you know, then just stop and rest and pause and just have a think. It's, you know, am I perhaps wanting to go back and relive old past experiences, or do something like I did in the past Because even if it didn't work out for me, and I've been really shown it's not my path, that was my comfort zone. See, the tricky thing about human beings is even if we're in pain, even if we're uncomfortable, if we're in a familiar situation, we want to stay there. Because all the new stuff, it's unfamiliar, there's uncertainty, and that just, fires off all our, all our trigger warnings going, it's new, it's different, I don't know about this, let's run back into the old. And as you said, this card and this spread and the message I'm getting from Spirit is you will be herded away from what is no longer meant for you. That's a good thing. Now, some questions to think about when the restriction card comes up is, how did you get to this position? How did you get here? What can I do to be released from this situation? Can I release resistance? So doing your full moon ceremony, look at anything you're resisting, and ask for you to be freed from the resistance. If you're resisting what's new, ask for that, to be released from the resistance to whatever is new and could be good for you. Like, it's going to be good for you. It's going to be really nourishing, and you're going to connect with prosperity and abundance, all good stuff. I'm also sort of seeing that, like a baby, we kind of need to go back to milk, the first food, because as we're embracing this new venture, we've gone back to a neophyte state, and we kind of need to be nursed like babies. So ask for Spirit to nourish you like a baby through these new steps and these new changes. Okay, sorry, going back to that resistance. Restriction. When you're in a place of restriction, you feel like you're being cornered, the doors are being shut. Ask, is there something at the moment that I'm not seeing, that I'm not aware of? And we've got the owl here, and that's very much a sign of seeing what's what's not seen, seeing what's hidden. So I really feel like that's a good message, to sit in that space and maybe do some journaling and say, okay, what's really going on here with this card? The other thing is to understand that, life is probably just trying to get you to have a rest before you launch into the new. It's trying to set you up correctly before we go into all the new stuff. And I just keep feeling like, we need to stay the course, but you need to be patient with yourself this week, and as you embrace all these new things. If you're being, treat yourself a little bit like a baby, and just do enough. Just do absolutely what you need to, and make sure you're feeding yourself and meeting all your needs, getting enough sleep, eating well, and just doing things in tiny bite-sized pieces and baby steps. Be kind to yourself. That's what the message I'm hearing is from the cow. Be kind to yourself. Okay, clearing out the old. Well, this is amazing. This is everything I've talked about. So, as you said, we can do this with a full moon ceremony, clearing out the old. But really what I want to say is, like, clearing out the old stuff, we're laying the foundations for the new thing. So it's a very necessary and important step. And don't think that it's, how can I say it? Don't think that it's kind of, don't think that it's unimportant. It's a very important step to set you up so that you can have success in your new venture, in whatever the new situation or change is. And I feel like, we are moving through something, and the next thing, the new thing, is a great thing. It's going to be so good for all of us. But the thing is, if, clearing out the old, as you said, it's just releasing our resistance to it as well. We will hug a cactus. That's what I feel like. We will hug a cactus if, the cactus is all those things that hurt us in the past, but they're what we know. Do you get what I mean? So, like, we will hug something that would hurt us. We will hold it close to us and dear to us when it is no longer meant for us. It is not. And we could be talking about old relationships, old people, job situations, careers, money that's not meant for us. Let it go, ways of thinking, philosophy of life, old systems of belief, anything you feel could be restricting you and holding you back. It's time to clear it out. So KonMari the crap out of whatever's going on and holding you back. Do some physical decluttering. That often can trigger you to, you know, what is the non-physical clutter that needs to come out of my life. I highly recommend Kerry Richardson, and definitely, you know, if you haven't watched, is it Tidying Up with Marie Kondo on Netflix, you know, get into it. It's a great show. It's about so much more than physical clutter. The stories behind the show are just beautiful, and that's about embracing healing too. Clearing out the old is a very vital step and component of healing. So I love how there's so many connections between these cards. It's all happening, it's all going on. I'd love to hear how you go with it. I also want to let you know, many blessings on this week. I also want to let you know on my Facebook page, Kylie Savage Psychic Medium, that you'll find a link there to Kylie's Oracle Club. Now I'm going to start teaching you how to read Oracle cards for yourself. And I'm going to teach from Colette's deck, Wisdom of the Oracle, which is the red deck. And I'm going to break it down, make it super simple. We're going to have lots of practical exercises. We're going to meditate. I'm going to give you, you know, just enough theory so I don't bore you to tears. And I'm hoping for lots of interaction, you know, reading for each other. It's set up with the Code of Ethics. You need to abide by the Code of Ethics to join the group. And look, I'm a bit of a control freak. I'm all about setting up a safe and positive environment for people to learn. That's so important to me. And my team spirit, my guides and angels and healers, everyone that works with me, they're pretty strict too. So they won't be letting us get away with anything, and we will be in good hands with them. And yes, it's totally free. So if you're interested, please go over and like my page on Facebook and then find the link to Kylie's Oracle Club. Okay. Wishing you all the best, and thanks for watching. Oh, sorry, and please click like and subscribe. Hit the bell, get notified when the next video is coming out. Terrific.